Derek, an American expat, lost $26,600 trying to save Carmela from the massage parlor industry. In our last video, I showed you exactly how that relationship destroyed his finances in just 7 months. But Derek's story is just one pattern, one trap among many. Right now, across Metro Manila, Cebu and Davao, thousands of Western men are walking into relationship traps that will cost them their retirement savings, their visa status, and sometimes their freedom. Most of them think they're different, that their situation is special, that the woman they've met is genuine. Some are right. Many successful Western-Filipina marriages thrive for decades. I've documented dozens of them. But for every success story, there are at least 2 that end in financial devastation. And the traps? They're remarkably predictable. Welcome to Journals Beyond Horizons. Today we're exposing the 7 most common relationship traps, destroying expat finances in the Philippines. This isn't about judging Filipinas. This isn't anti-Philippines content. And this definitely isn't saying all relationships here are doomed. What this is, a financial protection guide showing you the specific patterns that bankrupt unprepared men along with examples, so you can recognize them before they destroy you. Let me be clear about something important. She and her family survived before you came into the picture. They had food, shelter, and a way forward. Don't lose your retirement trying to become a superhero who saves everyone. That mindset, the savior complex, is the foundation of almost every financial disaster I'm about to show you. Over the past 3 years documenting expat life here, I've talked to over 90 plus Western men in various relationship situations. Some successful, many catastrophic. I've tracked spending patterns, analyzed what went wrong, and identified 7 distinct traps that repeat endlessly. In this video, I'll show you the 7 relationship patterns that destroy expat finances. Real case studies with actual amounts lost. Specific red flags to watch for in each trap. How to protect your retirement savings while still pursuing genuine connection. The difference between healthy support and financial suicide. Before we dive in, I need you to understand something about the economics driving these patterns. The average Filipino family income is roughly 21,000 to 35,000 pesos per month, 380 to 630 US dollars. That's the entire household income. Mother, father, working age children combined. A Western retiree on Social Security might receive $1,800 to $2,400 monthly. That's 100,000 to 133,000 pesos. You represent more monthly income than entire Filipino families earn. This creates a power imbalance that some women exploit deliberately, some stumble into accidentally, and some navigate honestly despite the temptation. Understanding this economic context is critical to protecting yourself. Let's start with the most common trap, the one that catches the most men. Trap 1. The family emergency spiral. The pattern. You meet a Filipina. Could be through dating apps, in person, at work. Doesn't matter how. The relationship develops. It feels genuine. Maybe it is genuine. You're happy. She's happy. Then the first emergency hits. Her younger brother needs hospital treatment. 25,000 pesos, just this once. You help because you care about her. She's grateful. Life continues. 2 months later, her mother needs medicine. 18,000 pesos. You help again. It's not that much money from your perspective. Then the rice harvest fails. The motorcycle breaks down. Her sister needs tuition. Her nephew needs surgery. Her father's burial. Her aunt's house repair. Every 4 to 6 weeks, there's a new crisis, and each time you're the solution. What you don't realize, this will never stop. Her family survived before you arrived. They had coping mechanisms, borrow from neighbors, delay payments, work extra jobs, sacrifice non-essentials. But now you're here. You're the easy solution. Why struggle when you'll help? And here's the trap within the trap. Many of these emergencies are real. She's not lying about them. They genuinely need help. But the frequency accelerates once they know you'll pay. Suddenly problems that would have been solved locally or delayed become your emergency. Real case study. Martin, the Australian pensioner. Martin, 64, retired electrician from Sydney. Met Rosalind, 38, through a dating app. She worked in a call centre, made 28,000 pesos per month, lived modestly. Their first 6 months together were wonderful. She never asked for money, paid her own way. Martin felt he'd found a genuine partner. Month 7, her father had a stroke. Hospital bill, 82,000 pesos. Martin paid it. Of course he did. Her father was dying. Month 8, her brother's motorcycle, his work transport, broke down. Repair, 23,000 pesos. Martin helped. Month 9, her sister's tuition was due or she'd be expelled. 31,000 pesos. Martin paid. Month 10, typhoon damaged her family's house in the province. Roof repair, 75,000 pesos. Martin sent the money. Month 11, her nephew needed emergency dental surgery. 19,000 pesos. Martin covered it. Month 12, her mother needed cataract surgery. 48,000 pesos. Martin paid. Martin's first year emergency spending, 278,000 pesos, $5,000. In year 2, the request continued. Her niece's graduation, 15,000 pesos. Family reunion costs, 28,000 pesos. Uncle's hospital bill, 45,000 pesos. Sister's wedding, 67,000 pesos. Brother's job loss support, 35,000 pesos. Per month for 4 months equals 140,000 pesos. Year 2 additional 295,000 pesos, $5,310. 2-year total, 573,000 pesos, $10,310. Martin's retirement income, $2,100 per month. Australian pension equals 116,600 pesos per month, equals 1,399,200 pesos yearly. He'd spent 41% of 1 year's income on her family emergencies over 2 years, in addition to his regular living expenses and supporting Rosalind directly with 30,000 pesos per month. When I spoke with Martin, he was down to $47,000 in savings from his original $180,000. At his burn rate, he had 3 to 4 years before he'd be completely broke. I can't say no, he told me. These are real problems. Her family genuinely needs help. But I look at my bank account and realize I'm going to run out of money before I die, and I don't know what to do. The psychology. This trap works because each request seems reasonable in isolation. 20,000 pesos isn't much from a Western perspective. They're often genuine emergencies. You're not being scammed. Technically, saying no feels cruel. You'd let her father die over $1,500? There's no natural stopping point. Families in poverty always have emergencies. You're emotionally invested. Saying no means admitting you can't afford the relationship. The red flags. Emergency requests appear every 3 to 8 weeks with remarkable consistency. The amounts increase over time as they gauge your financial capacity. Requests always come at emotionally vulnerable moments, after intimacy, during family bonding. There's pressure, urgency. The hospital needs payment by tomorrow. Alternative solutions aren't explored. Can't your brother borrow from his employer? Other family members who work aren't contributing proportionally protection strategy. Set a monthly family support budget before problems arise. Say, I can help with 15,000 pesos per month for family needs. You decide how to allocate it. Beyond that, I can't afford more. Stick to it religiously. When requests exceed the budget, I understand this is important, but I've already allocated this month's family support. And can this wait until next month, or can your family find another solution? Remember, her family managed before you arrived. They can manage again. You're not abandoning them by setting boundaries. You're ensuring you don't abandon yourself. Don't lose your retirement trying to become a superhero. You can't save everyone. You can only support sustainably. Trap 2. The investment business partnership. The pattern. After dating for a while, she proposes a business idea. It's presented as partnership, not a gift. You're investors together. She'll handle operations. You provide capital. Common pitches. Let's open a sari-sari store. My friend has a franchise opportunity. We can buy a jeepney for transport business. Let's start an online shop. There's cheap land we can develop. It sounds reasonable. Entrepreneurial even. Better than just giving money away. This is an investment that will generate income for both of you. Here's what actually happens. Real case study, Graham. The British engineer Graham, 56 retired civil engineer from Manchester, met Elena, 34, college educated, worked in hotel management. She was smart, business-minded, ambitious. Elena proposed opening a small restaurant. Her cousin owned a good location, reasonable rent. She had restaurant experience. Graham had 850,000 pesos in accessible savings, $15,300. The plan: initial investment, 450,000 pesos, equipment, renovation, licenses, initial inventory. Graham, 60% ownership, maximum foreigner limit. Elena, 40% ownership, plus operational management, profit split, 60-40 after expenses. Graham agreed. The restaurant opened. First 3 months looked promising. Decent revenue, manageable expenses. Month 4, problems started. Equipment broke. Needed replacement, 45,000 pesos. Revenue dropped. Needed marketing, 28,000 pesos. Health inspection required improvements, 32,000 pesos. Staff wages increased, 15,000 pesos per month. Additional month 8, Elena called an emergency meeting. The restaurant needed 180,000 pesos cash injection, or it would close. Graham invested it, bringing his total to 630,000 pesos. Month 12, Elena's silent partner, her uncle, who'd invested 100,000 pesos from the beginning, but Graham didn't know about, wanted out. Elena needed to buy him out. 150,000 pesos. Graham paid it to protect his investment. Month 14, the restaurant closed. Market conditions, competition, bad location. Graham's total loss, 780,000 pesos, $14,040. He tried to recover the equipment, but Elena's family had already sold it to cover debts. Legally, Graham owned 60%, but he had no paperwork proving the equipment purchases. Everything was in Elena's name for convenience. They're no longer together. Graham returned to the UK with $23,000 remaining from his $150,000 life savings. Why this trap works, it feels legitimate. You're investing, not gifting Philippine business law favors locals. Foreigners can't own more than 40% in most sectors. Enforcement is selective, but your paperwork is always vulnerable. Expenses are opaque. You can't verify if that 45,000 peso equipment repair actually happened. Emotional manipulation. Don't you trust me? Becomes the response to question sunk cost fallacy. You are very self-centered. You keep investing to protect what you've already spent. The hard truth, Philippine small business success rates are abysmal. Most sari-sari stores barely break even. Transport businesses require constant maintenance. Restaurants fail at 60% plus rates in first 2 years. You're not investing in a business opportunity. You're buying into a money pit where she controls operations. You can't verify expenses and she has legal protections you don't. Red flags. She wants to open a business in an oversaturated market, another sari-sari store in an area with 50 already. Business plan is vague. We'll figure it out as we go. She refuses formal partnership agreements. We don't need lawyers, we trust each other. She insists everything be in her name. It's easier this way. Revenue reports are inconsistent or suspiciously always just breaking even. She hires only family members who may be paid above market rates. Protection strategy. If you're determined to invest, never invest more than you can afford to lose completely. Assume it's a gift. Insist on formal legal partnership documents reviewed by your lawyer, not hers, not a family friend. Require transparent accounting, QuickBooks, receipts, monthly financial statements. Cap your investment up front. I'll invest 300,000 pesos total, not a peso more. Understand you probably can't enforce anything legally. Philippine courts favor locals, and your case will take 3 to 5 years minimum. Better strategy, just say no to business partnerships entirely. Her family survived before you arrived. They can pursue business opportunities without your capital. Don't become a financial superhero losing your retirement on someone else's business dream. Trap 3, the long-distance support system. The pattern, you meet online through dating platforms. These platforms, whether it's Filipino Cupid, Christian Filipina, or general apps like Tinder, do their best to verify users and create safe environments, but they can't control individual intentions. Some women use these platforms genuinely seeking relationships. Others see them as income opportunities. The platforms can't always distinguish between them. You video chat for months, deep conversations, emotional connection. She shows you her family, her neighborhood, her daily life. It feels real. For all you know, it is real. But you're in Australia, Canada, US, UK. She's in Cebu, Manila, Davao. You can't visit yet. Work commitments, visa processing, whatever. Then the pattern begins. She needs help with rent, internet bill for your video calls, phone load, transportation to internet cafes, small amounts, 3,000 pesos here, 5,000 pesos there. Then her mother gets sick, her brother loses his job, her niece needs school supplies. Months pass. You've sent 150,000 to 250,000 pesos, 2,700 to $4,500 before you've even met in person. When you finally visit, there are 2 possible outcomes. Outcome 1, she's real, the relationship is genuine, but now you're financially committed to supporting her and her family indefinitely because you've set that precedent. Outcome 2, she's not who she claimed. Maybe she's married, maybe she's working in entertainment, maybe she has 3 other foreign men sending money. You've been played. Real case study, Terry, the American veteran. Terry, 61, retired US Army, living in Virginia, met Princess, yes, actually her name, on Filipino Cupid. She was 32, lived in Mindanao, worked as elementary school teacher, making 18,000 pesos per month. They video chatted daily for 8 months. Emotional connection was strong. They planned his visit for month 10. Month 3 of chatting, her phone broke. Terry sent 15,000 pesos for new phone, so we can keep talking. Month 4, her landlord raised rent, she couldn't afford it. Terry sent 12,000 pesos to help. Month 5, her father hospitalized. Terry sent 65,000 pesos for medical bills. Month 6, her salary was delayed. Government budget issues, happens in Philippines. Terry sent 20,000 pesos for food necessities. Month 7, her brother's motorcycle was her family's transport. It broke. Terry sent 28,000 pesos for repairs. Month 8, typhoon damaged her family home. Terry sent 85,000 pesos for emergency repairs. Pre-visit total sent 225,000 pesos, $4,050. Month 10, Terry flew to Philippines to finally meet her. The visit was complicated. She was real. She looked like her photos. But she'd been less than fully honest. She wasn't a teacher anymore. She'd quit 6 months earlier. Her salary delays were actually unemployment. She was living with her parents, not renting. The rent help went to family expenses. Her father hadn't been hospitalized. It was her uncle, and the 65,000 pesos was for entire extended family medical pooling. Princess genuinely liked Terry. But she'd also been financially desperate, and Terry was her solution. Terry faced a choice. Walk away after sending 225,000 pesos with nothing to show for it. Continue the relationship, now knowing she'd been dishonest. He chose to continue. Over the next year, he sent an additional 340,000 pesos before realizing she was also receiving support from 2 other foreign men she'd met online. Total loss, 565,000 pesos, $10,170. The hard truth about online platforms. Dating apps and sites do what they can. ID verification, photo verification, scam reporting. But they can't verify intentions. They can't monitor private conversations. They can't tell if someone's using the platform to find love or find income. It's not the platform's fault. It's the reality of long-distance relationships with significant wealth imbalances. Red flags. She brings up money problems within first month of chatting. Her emergencies align suspiciously with your payday schedule. She avoids specific questions about her daily life, employment. She's reluctant to video chat at her actual location, always at internet cafe. Her stories have inconsistencies that she dismisses as miscommunication. She resists you visiting her family or hometown. It's not safe, not yet. She never has good news, only problems that need money. Protection strategy. Rule number 1, never send money to someone you haven't met in person, no exceptions, not 1,000 pesos, not 50,000 pesos, nothing. If she truly likes you, she'll wait until you visit. If she can't wait, she's not the right person anyway. Rule number 2. Her family survived before you came into the picture. They have coping mechanisms. They don't need your money from 8,000 miles away. Rule number 3. Meet in person before making any financial commitments. See her home, meet her family, verify her stories, understand her actual situation. Rule number 4. If you absolutely must send money before visiting, which I strongly advise against, cap it at 20,000 pesos total and consider it a lost donation, not an investment. Don't become the financial superhero of someone you've never met. You're not saving anyone. You're potentially funding someone's scam or creating unsustainable dependencies. Trap number 4, the age gap exploitation. The pattern, you're 55, 60, 65, she's 25, 28, 32. The age gap is 25 to 35 years. You know it's unusual, you're not naive. But she seems genuinely attracted to you. She calls you handsome. She says age doesn't matter. She says Western men are more mature, more stable, more respectful than Filipino men her age. And maybe that's partly true. But here's what's definitely true. She's making a calculated economic decision, and you're making an emotional one. This imbalance destroys finances faster than any other trap. Real case study, Howard. The Canadian businessman. Howard, 67, retired business consultant from Toronto. Wealthy by expat standards. $480,000 in retirement savings, $3,200 per month pension. Met Angelique, 29, through a friend introduction in Manila. She was educated, spoke excellent English, worked in real estate. Angelique was direct about the age gap. I know you're older, but I'm tired of immature Filipino men. I want stability. Howard was flattered. Cautious but flattered. They dated for 3 months before becoming serious. The relationship progression, months 1 to 6, dating normally. Angelique paid her own way. Howard occasionally treated. Felt balanced. Month 7, Angelique's apartment lease ended. Howard suggested she move in. Rent savings for her. Companionship for him. Win-win. Month 8, Angelique quit her real estate job. The stress isn't worth it. I'd rather focus on our life together. Howard supported this. His pension covered them both. Months 9 to 12, Howard's expenses, condo rent, 45,000 pesos per month. Food and household, 35,000 pesos per month. Angelique's personal expenses, 25,000 pesos per month, clothes, salon, phone, family support to her parents, 20,000 pesos per month, entertainment and dates, 30,000 pesos per month. Total, 155,000 pesos per month, $2,790. Howard's income, 177,600 pesos per month, $3,200. He was burning 155,000 pesos monthly, leaving only 22,600 pesos, $407, for savings or emergencies. Year 2. Angelique wanted to help her family more. Her sister needed tuition, 80,000 pesos. Her parents' house needed repairs, 120,000 pesos. Her brother wanted to start a business, 150,000 pesos. Howard paid from his savings, 350,000 pesos in year 2. There's 6,300. Year 3, Howard turned 70. His health insurance premiums jumped from 55,000 pesos per year to 92,000 pesos per year. He needed minor surgery, 180,000 pesos out of pocket after insurance. His savings were down to $180,000 from $480,000 in 3 years. 12,600,000 pesos spent, 300,000. Then Angelique met someone else, a 42-year-old Australian businessman, wealthier, yet younger than Howard. She left. Howard was devastated. Current status, Howard has 9,964,800 pesos, remaining $179,550. At his previous burn rate, he has maybe 5 to 6 years before he's broke. He's 70 years old. What happens at 75 or 76 when his money runs out? He returned to Canada to live with his daughter, broken. The brutal economics, when there's a 25 to 35 year age gap, she's thinking about her financial security when you're elderly or gone. You're thinking about companionship and feeling desired. She's assessing, can he support me and my family for 10 to 20 years? You're asking, does she really like me despite the age difference? The answer is often, yes, she likes you. And yes, she's making a calculated financial decision. Both can be true. What you're actually paying for. In large age gap relationships, you're effectively paying a monthly fee for companionship from someone much younger, physical intimacy, feeling desirable again, social status, being seen with a young attractive woman. If you're okay with this transaction and can afford it long term, fine. Many expats are. The trap is thinking it's something other than this, thinking she'd be with you if you were broke, thinking the age gap truly doesn't matter to her. Red flags. She has no independent income within 3 months of relationship starting. She immediately stops working after moving in together. Your spending increased 80 to 120% after the relationship began. She talks about your retirement savings assets more than you do. Her lifestyle expectations, shopping, dining, travel, exceed what you can sustain. She shows interest in your will, beneficiaries, or asset ownership. Protection strategy. Be honest with yourself. If there's a 25+ year age gap, this is partly transactional. Acknowledge it, budget for it, and make sure you can afford it long term without destroying your retirement. Calculate the real cost, your expenses before her, X pesos per month. Your expenses with her, Y pesos per month. Difference, Y minus X equals her actual cost. Multiply by 12 months, then by 15 to 20 years. Can you afford that total from your retirement savings and pension? If not, don't pursue it. Her family survived before you arrived. Don't lose your retirement becoming a financial superhero for someone decades younger. Remember, at 65 to 70, you might have 15 to 20 years of life ahead. That money needs to last. Don't spend it all on someone who will leave when you're 75 and broke. Trap 5. The visa citizenship pursuit. The pattern, the relationship starts normally enough. But within 3 to 6 months, she's focused intensely on one thing, getting to your home country or securing foreign citizenship. Conversations shift toward, when can I visit your country? How do I get a tourist visa? What's the process for a fiancé visa? If we get married, how long until I get citizenship? She's planning an exit strategy from the Philippines using you as the vehicle. Sometimes this is obvious, sometimes it's subtle, sometimes she's even honest about it. I want a better life abroad. The financial destruction happens in 2 ways. Way 1, visa application costs and failed attempts. Tourist visas to US, Canada, UK, Australia are difficult for young Filipinos to obtain. Rejection rates are 60 to 80% for first-time applicants without strong ties to Philippines. Each application costs US 8,800 pesos plus 15,000 pesos in documentation Canada, 6,500 pesos plus 12,000 pesos in documentation. UK 18,000 pesos plus 20,000 pesos in documentation Australia, 7,200 pesos plus 13,000 pesos in documentation. She applies, gets rejected, applies again, rejected again. You're paying for all of it. Way 2. Marriage-based immigration and costs. She pushes for marriage quickly. Fiancé visa or spouse visa. US K1. Fiancé visa costs. Petition fee, 29,000 pesos. Medical exam, 13,000 pesos. Police clearances, 4,500 pesos. Visa interview fee, 14,000 pesos. Travel to Manila for interview, 5,000 pesos. Total, 65,500 pesos. $1,180. Then if approved, airfare to US, 60,000 to 80,000 pesos. Initial settling costs, 110,000 to 200,000 pesos. Adjustment of status after marriage, 71,000 pesos. Total immigration process, 310,000 to 420,000 pesos. 5,600 to $7,560. Plus you're supporting her family back in Philippines while she's with you abroad. 25,000 to 40,000 pesos per month indefinitely. Real case study, Malcolm, the American retiree. Malcolm, 63, retired postal worker from Arizona. Met Christine Tatlumput Apat in Davao. She was educated, ambitious, and very clear. I want to live in America. Philippines has limited opportunities. Malcolm admired her honesty. They dated 4 months, then she proposed marriage. Let's get married so I can come to America with you. Malcolm agreed. The K1 visa process began. Costs over 14 months, K1 petition and fees, 67,000 pesos. 2 trips back to US for Malcolm during process, 135,000 pesos. Supporting Christine in Philippines during waiting period, 35,000 pesos per month, x 14 equals 490,000 pesos. Christine's family support, 20,000 pesos per month times 14 equals 280,000 pesos airfare to US, pounds 73,000 adjustment of status, pounds 71,000 total spent before she even arrived in US, pounds 1,000,000, $116,000, 20,090 they married. She got her green card. 8 months later she filed for divorce. Once she had permanent residency, Malcolm was no longer necessary. Under US immigration law, she kept her green card despite the divorce. Marriages over 2 years lead to permanent status, even shorter marriages don't. Automatically revoke status if there's evidence of good faith. Malcolm's total loss, 1,116,000 pesos, plus 8 months of US living expenses. $35,000 equals $55,090 total. He's now 65, living alone in Arizona with his retirement savings depleted. The hard reality, some Filipinos genuinely fall in love with foreigners and want to build lives abroad. That's completely legitimate, but others see foreign relationships as immigration strategies. You're a visa sponsor, not a partner. How to tell the difference? Genuine interest in you. She's interested in your life, hobbies, personality. She's willing to build a life in the Philippines if that's what you want. Checkmark citizenship/visa is discussed after relationship is established year plus checkmark. She has her own career/goals in Philippines. Immigration focused, visa citizenship. Comes up within first 3 months, she pushes for fast marriage. Why wait? Let's do it now. She's disinterested in building life in Philippines. There's no future here. She researches visa requirements more than she asks about you. After getting visa citizenship, her interest in you declines rapidly. Protection strategy. Slow down. If she's pushing for marriage within 6 months, question why the rush. Date for at least 1 to 2 years in the Philippines first. If she's genuinely interested in you, she'll wait. Observe her reaction to delays. If visa processing is slow and she becomes angry or distant, that's a red flag. Protect your assets legally. Prenuptial agreements, separate bank accounts, limited joint ownership. Remember, her family survived before you came into the picture. Don't become a financial superhero who exists primarily as a visa sponsor. If she's pressuring you about immigration constantly, ask yourself, does she love me? Or does she love what I can provide? Foreign citizenship. Trap number 6. The OFW, the overseas Filipino worker, family dynamics. The pattern, she's an OFW, overseas Filipino worker. Maybe she's working in Hong Kong, Singapore, Dubai, or Saudi Arabia as a domestic helper, nurse, or hospitality worker. She's been sending money home to her family in Philippines for 5 to 10 years, 20,000 to 40,000 pesos monthly. Her entire family's survival depends on her remittances. You meet her online or during her vacation in the Philippines. You start a relationship. She's hardworking, responsible, educated, mature, perfect partner material. But here's what you don't realize. You're not just entering a relationship with her. You're entering a financial obligation to her entire family that she's been supporting for years. When she stops working to be with you, or if she loses her job, you automatically inherit that financial responsibility. Real case study, Simon. Where are you from? The British engineer Simon, 59, retired civil engineer from London. Met Maria, 41, through an introduction from a mutual friend. Maria had been working in Hong Kong for 12 years as a domestic helper. She was impressive, mature, responsible, financially literate. She owned a small house in her province, built from her remittances. She'd put 3 younger siblings through college. They dated long distance for 8 months. Simon in Philippines, Maria in Hong Kong. Then Maria's contract ended. She decided to stay in Philippines to be with Simon rather than renew. Simon was thrilled. They moved in together in Cebu. Then the financial reality hit. Maria had been sending 35,000 pesos per month to her family for 12 years. Her parents, both elderly, not working, 2 younger siblings, one in college, one underemployed, and her own teenage son from previous relationship. 5 people depended on her monthly remittance. When she stopped working, that income disappeared. The family struggled immediately. Maria explained to Simon, "They've depended on me for 12 years. I can't just abandon them." Simon understood. He started sending 35,000 pesos per month to her family, but that was just the baseline. The emergencies continued. Her mother's hospitalization, 85,000 pesos. Her son's school fees and expenses, 45,000 pesos twice yearly. Her father's medication, 8,000 pesos per month ongoing house repairs, 67,000 pesos. Sister's wedding, 50,000 pesos. Year 1 supporting Maria's family, 35,000 pesos per month, baseline times 12 equals 420,000 pesos. Additional emergencies, 255,000 pesos. Year 1 total, 675,000 pesos, 12,150. Simon's pension, $2,800 per month, equals 155,500 pesos per month, equals 1,866,000 pesos yearly. He was spending 36% of his annual income just on Maria's family, before his own living expenses with Maria, rent, food, utilities, entertainment. Another 85,000 pesos per month. Total monthly burn, 120,000 pesos per month, equals 1,440,000 pesos yearly. Simon's income covered it. Barely. But he had 0 savings accumulation. Every peso coming in was going out. Year 2 brought new problems. Her son wanted to study in Manila, more expensive, additional 15,000 pesos per month. Her father's health deteriorated, 120,000 pesos in medical costs. Her brother lost his job, 20,000 pesos per month support for 6 months, equals 120,000 pesos. Year 2 additional emergency spending, 420,000 pesos. 2-year total family support, 1,095,000 pesos, $19,710. When I interviewed Simon, he was frank. "I love Maria. She's genuine, but I didn't realize dating her meant financially adopting her entire family permanently. They survived for years on her 35,000 pesos monthly. Now I'm sending 50,000 to 60,000 pesos monthly when you include emergencies, and it's never enough." The OFW trap reality: OFW Filipinas are often exceptional women, hard-working, responsible, mature, educated. They've survived years abroad in difficult conditions to support their families. But that's exactly the trap. Their families are completely dependent on remittances. When she stops working to be with you, you inherit that financial obligation whether you agreed to it or not. Red flags: she's been the primary breadwinner for her family for 5+ years. Multiple family members depend entirely on her income. She's vague about what will happen to her family when she stops working. Within weeks of moving in together, her family's financial needs become your problem. The family never adjusts their lifestyle downward, despite her income stopping. Her siblings are able-bodied adults who could work more but don't because remittances continue. Protection strategy: before committing to a relationship with an OFW, ask directly, if you stop working, what happens to your family financially? How will they survive? If the answer is vague or they'll figure it out, that means you will figure it out with your money. Discuss boundaries. I care about you and want to support you, but I can't replace your entire income to your family. What's a reasonable support level we can both agree on? Set a monthly cap before she moves in. I can contribute 20,000 pesos monthly to help your family. Beyond that, they need to adjust their expenses or find other income sources. Remember, her family survived before you came into the picture. They had her remittances, but those remittances came from her labor. If you can do it, fine and good luck, but if you can't, let her know, because you're not obligated to replace her entire working income just because you're in a relationship. Don't lose your retirement trying to become a financial superhero for people who've become dependent on someone else's continuous support. If you can't afford to replace her full remittance burden long term, 10 to 20 years, don't pursue the relationship, or be very clear up front about financial boundaries. We've covered 7 traps, and if you noticed, they all have one thing in common. They prey on your desire to be generous and helpful. They exploit the massive wealth imbalance between Western retirees and Filipino families. They accelerate slowly, small requests becoming unsustainable obligations. They all ignore one critical truth. Her family survived before you came into the picture. But of course you should support your partner reasonably and sustainably. Set clear financial boundaries before committing. Help with genuine emergencies within a predetermined budget. Protect your retirement savings so you don't end up broke at an age that you're not able to work efficiently. I mean, who wants to do hard labour at 75? Not even 75, at 60. That's it. Absolutely no one. Well, that's it for me. Next week, I'll be covering the real cost of living in the Philippines for Western retirees, with detailed budgets from multiple expats across different cities. And also, I'll dive into the real question everyone has been asking. Is the Philippines still the best place to retire in 2025? And don't forget, if this video helped you recognize patterns in your own relationship, or if it's protecting you from future traps, hit that like button and subscribe for more honest expat content from the Philippines. Drop a comment telling me, have you experienced any of these traps? How did you handle it? And if you know someone living in the Philippines or in Southeast Asia or planning to move here, share this video with them. It might save their retirement. Well, until then, stay smart, set boundaries and protect your future. Once again, this is Journals Beyond Horizons. You all have a good one.